What is happening, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Made by Miles podcast. I am your host, Kieran Ingram, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Jordan Moore. Now, in this podcast, we are going to go over how to balance a very hectic life while being a parent, a coach, and also still working full time. And basically, in this podcast, Jordan is going to debunk a lot of excuses from parents. And now, I know there'll be a lot of people listening to this that will already have their backup, but I'm going to let Jordan explain some things, share his thoughts and how he gets a lot done. And hopefully it can kind of open your eyes that because you have a kid doesn't mean that you are completely stuck. Yes, you'll be stuck to a certain degree, but I'm hoping by the end of this podcast it gives you belief and confidence that you actually can still take control of your life and still make progress while being an inspiration to your kids. But before we start, guys, do me a wee favour. Please, if you are watching this on Spotify, give us a wee follow. And if you can, give it a wee share on Instagram and tag us in it at Kieran Ingram Extra Mile. Also, if you're watching it on YouTube, please like and subscribe and make a wee bit of noise for us. But as I say, we'll let Jordan introduce himself and then we'll get to our interest. So Jordan, my man, give us a wee introduction of yourself, your background and why we've brought you on, mate.
So I'm Jordan Moore from Inverclyde, mate. You put it perfectly. I see about parents having their guard up straight away, mate. Amount of people that are going to get the
So many
feathers
people are
rustled,
gonna
mate.
turn it off
Mate.
here, man.
Big time,
Bear with
big
us,
time,
man.
mate. But I'm from Inverclyde, mate, as you know yourself, obviously, and been working with yourself for 7-8 months now. Still working full time. Dad to my wee baby Esme, and she's 2 in February, man. So nearly 2 years of father experience under my belt, mate. I love saying that because it's like scary, mate. But it's like 2 years done and dusted already, man.
Like she's an actual human now.
Aye, mate, it's grown up so much, and it's like sometimes you look and you're like, how have I got to this point? You know what I mean? And that's what we're going to cover today, man. So I'm excited for that. But I still work full time as well as a maintenance technician, as well as working alongside yourself inside the Extra Mile, doing online coaching, helping people transform their lives and changing their lifestyle about and getting results out of people that we never thought we could. And that's what we're going to debunk today, mate, about parents as well, man.
I love that as well, man. And it's true, man, because like what Jordan obviously mentioned there, like working inside the Extra Mile, there's a lot of people that come into our programme who are a bit lost and a bit stuck in their own ways, where they believe that there is no way out. And I proved to them that there is a way out through transforming your life, because that's exactly what I've done. And then Jordan comes in and proves to them when they say they're too busy that unfortunately you're not. And I know that sounds very, don't want to say stuck up, but it does kind of sound a bit harsh, because some people might be really busy.
Just need their eyes opened.
You need their eyes open.
100%.
And like as you say, man, like Jordan obviously still works full time, works for myself, does his own stuff as well, man. Has a kid, has his wee baby Esme. Obviously his partner Casey as well. But it's like it's not as if Jordan just works a 9 to 5.
Aye.
Like give them a wee insight to what your shifts are like. And I'll try and remember this too, because they're still confused. They're like
7 months later, mate, and we're still at a point where
your night shift this week.
literally, mate, we're still at a point where I'm pretty much breaking it into Kieran. Like I send Kieran my monthly rota, man, and it's like it chops and changes a lot, just due to overtime and stuff like that as well. But we work a shift rotation, and it involves 2 12-hour shifts, 5 12-hour shifts, 4 12-hour shifts, 3 12-hour shifts. That's the order it's in, and then you just get the break off that you just worked. So if you work 2 days, you get 2 days off. Work 5 days, you get 5 days off. So on and so forth. So trying to do that as well as have an organised and reliable schedule, as me and you both know, is absolutely chaotic, and it's just the way it's been for so long now that it's normal to me. And when you do tell people about these shifts and stuff like that, they do kind of like, oh, that sounds tough. But see, because I've done it for so long now, it's been like just qualified in January there, but I've been working on site for about 3.5, nearly 4 years. It'll be 4 years. It'll be now actually that I've been doing these shifts, man. So it's like, to me, it's just normal. It's like complete. It's like day and night, literally day and night to me. And when you tell people that, are a bit like, oh, how did you do that and stuff like that, and that's why I'm so strong on, as you say, is like letting people know that when your week doesn't need to be as chaotic as you make it.
Yeah.
You do have more hours, you do have more time, and you can get more done. And that's obviously, as you say, that's what we try and tell our guys so much. And trying to tell people that who maybe don't work as often. That's nothing against anybody who does work part-time or anything like that. Some people do it for their families, and Casey does it for us, you know what I mean? It's so we've got more time, and that allows me to have the spare time that I've got, which I'm very lucky with. But as I say, some people are just living this chaotic lifestyle that they can't get themselves out of, and although these shifts might sound mental to you, it's really not that mental to me, because I am in such a routine with it, and that's what some people are just missing. Some people are just missing routine, and they're not able to kind of open their eyes up and go, all right, I can get more out of my day, I can do this extra thing, I can take more time for myself. They just choose not to, and obviously we're working shifts, it takes its toll, do you know what I mean? Like last week, I'd come off the back of a night shift, man, and just body felt fried. Came down with man flu, man, but convinced you gave me that though. And then
Over Zoom.
came down with man flu, and then just scubbed for a couple of days, man. But that's part and parcel. We work on the job, and it's you listen to all these podcasts, mate, and you talk about circadian rhythm and stuff like that. And I know myself, it's not optimal, but it's done. Do you know what I mean? It's the money. Exactly. The money makes up for the hardship of doing it, and that's why obviously having a baby, running the house, it's the world we're living in right now. It's cash. You need a cash, man. Do you know what I mean? So it makes a difference up, and because I have been doing it for so long just now, it is normal, mate. And you know yourself, some weeks are harder than others. When you're doing 7 shifts, 7 12-hour shifts in 9 days, it can be a bit messy. And then my 2 days off, I've got Esme all day. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy, but I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad to the life I'm living. I choose to do this. You know what I mean? I could easily choose to go and get a 9-to-5 job and work less hours, but I've chose what I'm doing. This is what I do, mate. And I enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? It's different. Like a lot of my pals say that as well, man. They're like, "Why the fuck do you still do that?" And I'm like, I enjoy it. Like a lot of them have actually worked in where I work in Canada, just because they're like, "Oh no, I miss my Saturdays." I miss my Saturdays, and I'm like, but. Even the way my shifts work out as well, man, it's like I still get 2 Saturdays a month off and stuff, like 2 whole Saturdays. I know some people that's mental, but I also get like a Wednesday, Thursday off myself with Esme every week. Like I can't take that away from me. Do you know what I mean?
That's better than a Saturday.
Yes, mate, 100%. 100%. It's like it's like literally Esme daddy time, and then every kind of second weekend we've got off together as a family. Obviously, would I like that to be every weekend? Yes, but I would need to sacrifice mine and Esme's 1-to-1 time, and I enjoy that 1-to-1 time because Casey also gets that on a Monday, Tuesday when I'm working. So it just seems fair for Esme's development for me and Casey to kind of do it the way we do it. Would we like to do more stuff as a family every Saturday? Absolutely, but don't get the opportunity to just due to shifts. But it's, as I say, I don't want anybody feeling pitiful or sorry for me then, because that's what I've chose to do.
It's true that that's what you've chose to do, but it's quite key here what you've mentioned, and I think that's where a lot of people can take something from it. And it's like this is the cards you're dealt, but you've chose this life, and you're looking at the positives instead of the negatives. And like you've mentioned there twice in that when you were talking that you don't want anyone to feel sorry for you, but I think that's where people go wrong. It's like they just instantly go into this victim mindset. Just go, what else do you want me to do? And it's like, yeah, right, cool. Like, it's busy, it's hectic, I get it, right? But at the end of the day, it's your life. So playing the victim and moaning about your current circumstances is not going to change anything. And see, the one thing I'll take away from it, because I used to work shifts as well. I used to work in the printers, right? Dyslexic making boots, you work that one out, right? I was making them for Oxford as well, right? So okay, man.
The big dogs, man.
Can even check them to see if they were right.
Just hopefully guessing, mate. You know
it's all right, man. Mate, manager was colourblind. I'm not even joking you. I'm not even shitting you, mate.
Dyslexia and colourblind running the
fucking
printers,
chance
mate.
have you got, man? Forgot that one, brilliant, man. But as I was saying, like I used to work shifts, right? And like I was the victim. I hated it. I really did hate it. But it wasn't for me. I just could not do it. I hated the whole lifestyle of it. So I canned it. I changed it. But it wasn't like I canned it and done fuck all. Like I changed it. And then I was very, very, very curious on how to live a better life. As most people just moan about a circumstance, change it, and then go back into the same circumstance with a different title. And then wonder why they still feel the same way. And it's like, you need to make change. Changing job doesn't mean you've made change if it's the same fucking role. If it's the same situation. You need to make serious change. And a lot of people sit in this moment of going, oh, like this, I'll never do this or I'll not be able to do that. Says who? Like, go in and try it. If you're really that unhappy about it and it's holding you back so much, then you need to go in fucking guns blazing to change it. And that's where I have my stance on it as well. But then you chuck into the mix, obviously, right, with Esme, you've got a kid or whatever, then there's obviously other circumstances here, right? What did you find the hardest while working shifts, especially when Esme was just born?
It was trying to be there and do as much as possible, as well as still having a social life, which since Esme has been born, as me and you know, my social life is, I'm changing it currently. Changed it currently. It's not the same anymore, but trying to do that whilst Esme was just born was tough, in a sense that...
Bear in mind, what age were you when Esme was born, just so everyone knows?
I was 20, literally just turned 20 when Esme was born,
You're a young
man.
dad as well, so there's a lot of stuff at play here, man.
Yeah.
Does that mean?
So you're 20, prime time of your life, do you know what I mean? Especially being in the west of Scotland, your prime time's meant to be spent...
Well, what people think is their prime.
Yes, what people think is their prime.
And I get that, but...
Aye, that's what...
33 is the prime, mate. I'm holding on for that. But sorry, mate, as you were saying there, sorry.
But I was just trying to like juggle a social life, be there for Casey and Esme, and then still work full time as well. Like as a father, which is terrible. I think being like 2 weeks paternity, which is shocking. Right? I just think it's a shambles. Like obviously Casey was in for it. Esme was a C-section, which meant Casey was pretty much written off for like 6 weeks, but I have to go back to work after 2 weeks.
Wild, isn't it?
Aye, like so Casey's to take care of herself, recover, and look after Esme, a whole new child, and it's not even a second child, zero experience at this, like first time, and she's meant to do all that whilst I go and work again, which I thought was a shambles, but that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But the good thing is we were still staying with Casey's mum at the time, which was very, very good, very, very grateful for that. We still had that opportunity, we still had those those people around us, Casey's mum and dad and sister, like my mum and dad as well. Both our families just helped it a lot, which was really good. But when Esme was first born, it was like I was still going to football and stuff like that, and then still going out with my pals, and it was like, as I've already said, I work one weekend and I've got the next weekend off. So the weekend off I'm wanting to spend with my mates, but I'm wanting to spend it doing doing something. There's only so much you can do with a newborn baby. Do you know what I mean? It's now you know yourself, Esme's at a great age that she just comes anywhere. She's
hilarious, man. She's so funny, man.
She just loves it, mate. Like, she loves hanging about with us. Like, it's just even at track sessions.
She pure takes the piss at my laugh.
Aye, mate.
Like,
She does,
honestly, man, I'll laugh, right? And I hear, ha ha ha. And I'm like, what was that? And I'm like, how would that say?
Sarcastically takes the piss.
She's brilliant, man.
I mean,
She's brilliant.
like she's not even 2 yet. She's already got sarcasm of Scotland. You know what I mean? It's class, man. But I was trying to like juggle this social life. It's still going to every game and be there for Esme and Casey. Casey's obviously just recovering. You're not meant to drive after a C-section as well, so Casey couldn't drive for like 6 to 8 weeks, so I was the only one that could drive. So it was a bit chaotic, man. I just felt as if there was times where I definitely wasn't present enough, which I regret now. But now, under different circumstances, I've realised that there's one kind of issue, obviously in my life that I've addressed now and changing now that makes me more present and makes me there for them a bit more. But back then it was still kind of like go to football, couple of beers, probably wake up roughish the next day. Casey would still be doing the night feeds, and then I'd wake up feeling poorly and still have to be a dad because it was like my only days off, and it was tough. Do you know what I mean? When it's sometimes you regret things that you do, but I think as a parent you always do that. Like I think you just look back and you're like, I could have been better here, I could have been better there, and I think it's just part of growing. Like
how do you deal with that guilt?
Be better, be better, address it. Don't shy away from it in a sense, because there's been times where sometimes I've even worked too much, which sounds daft. People are like, how can you work too much, right? But I've done like you've seen it yourself, mate. I've took like 12 overtime shifts in a row, mate, and I'm in work like every day for like 21 days, like, which is just
chaos.
Carnage, man. Like, that's carnage. Technically it's not allowed, but it is allowed in a way. So when you're doing things like that, like you feel guilty as well. So like there's like two ends of the spectrum. Like there's an end of the spectrum where you're actually doing stuff to benefit your family. Like we can't go on these holidays. We can't do these things unless we make money. Like money is what makes the world go round now. Unfortunately, that's, people struggle to realise that, but that's what it is. And there's the other end of the spectrum where, like, sometimes I've done things and I'm like, probably shouldn't have done that. There's been times I've went to games where we've had something booked for the next day and had a few beers, and I've went somewhere and I've felt kind of poorly, and I'm like, wish I was fresh here, because it would be such a better day. And it's not as if people think it as if I'm like never there. I was never there, but it wasn't the case. It was just like I would go with my pals, and on some days, on some weekends, I would have time off, and then other weekends I'd be working. So it's trying to be as present as possible, and in these kind of circumstances. But it was never a case where it was like, I feel like it was like, wow, like, what the fuck's going on here? It was just in my own head. Like I probably still make it worse than it actually was, to be honest.
Your own worst critic, but
literally, mate. Aye, like that's what it is, mate. I was just too critical of myself, and then even like there's been different times where sometimes things happen, and like, or like if I don't make gymnastics with her one weekend, I'm like, oh, I should have been there. But I've been rushing about to get like a haircut or something daft, man. Do you know what I mean? Like something like that. You feel kind of guilty for it, but it's just about addressing it and making it better in a sense. Like either thinking and reflecting and going, right, is this really that bad of a situation? Like missing gymnastics so that I can go for a haircut, right? Not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't know whether it's Monday, Sunday, or Wednesday. She's like they're living, being present herself, man. So she doesn't know like if it's swimming day or if it's gymnastics day. She knows she goes swimming, she knows she goes to gymnastics, and if that's the day she's going, then brilliant, she loves it, she'll be excited for it. But as I say, like there's been times on a Thursday where there's been an early kick-off for the football, and I've been like, I can't take her swimming, the bus is leaving.
You can say the football name.
You
can say the name of the football team. You can say
there's been time where Rangers have been playing early. And then
like, you go, nah, I'm not saying
it. It's like sometimes you're like, do you tell people?
You can say you're a Rangers fan.
But there's been times where it's like Rangers have been an early kick-off on a Thursday night, and we go for swimming doesn't open until 4 o'clock, so I can't take her because the bus is at like, say, quarter to 5. So I'm like, I can't take her this week. And then sometimes you feel guilty for that because you're prioritising yourself over Esme going to swimming. But I think sometimes you're just like, as you say, too critical on yourself. Like, it's not that deep, but it's just about making sure you're present enough and that she is getting to do enough things, because you see it all the time. Like parents will just fling their weight in front of a telly or in front of an iPad at a meal and stuff like that. And that's one thing we've been so strict upon. And when I tell people, they're like, "Oh, you're too harsh," and I'm like, "No, I'm fucking no." Like, she doesn't need. Why does she need an iPad? She can't even string a proper sentence together. Like, she talks. We know she talks. You know what I mean? She yaps like anything, but she can't string a proper English sentence together. Why does she need an iPad? Like, how's that going to benefit her? Actually, sitting around a table with adults. I'm sitting there as if she's about an even fork, but ready to go. Do you know what I mean? But I was sitting around a table with adults as a family meal and communicating with her, around her, is so much better for her brain than a fucking screen with Miss Rachel on it. 100%. You know what I mean, man?
100%. I think as well, like, to kind of take a dive into that, because from my experience of working with parents, and again, I need to make it very clear, I am not a parent. Do you know what I mean? This is just through experience of working with different parents, that they will add this human to their life. This human will get added, right? But they'll try and do everything that they've done before. They'll still try and do everything, and then they'll go, I can't do this. Like, nothing's happening, man. I'm not making any progress, man. So like, even like the basics goes to shit, like training goes to shit, nutrition goes to shit, everything else goes to shit. And I'm going, right, so you will sacrifice that thing that will make you feel really good and like push you forward, get you closer to your goals, like you be an inspiration to your son, your daughter, whatever it may be. But your social life will not budge at all. And then like, that's cool, man, you do you, right? But when a lot of people come to me, they come to me in a place of pain, if you will. Like, they're not happy with where they're at. And you kind of try and pinpoint that to them. It's like, but it's not as easy as that. And I'm like, it is actually. It actually is. And it's like, you can't expect to add in another life form into your life and for everything to stay the same. Something's going to give. And that's what, like, obviously, over the past couple of years, like, I've seen this from you, where your social life has changed. It's not non-existent. Still go to football. Still do what you want to do, but it's changed. The priorities have changed. And I think, like, if you, in my opinion, again, if you've got a kid and you're serious about still making progress and again being an inspiration to them growing up, then your social life will probably take a bit of a hit. But surely to God, and you can answer this, it's worth it.
Aye, 100%. That's people think that it's the social life is the be all and end all. When these days, like a lot of people fall pregnant without actually meaning it. So they might not be mentally ready in a sense to give up that social life, and that's maybe where I was at. Obviously, still being 20, I think maybe I wasn't quite ready to give that up yet because of obviously the year I had before it of not drinking. So it was, I was literally coming back. I say back on the drink, but I was like drinking again for 3 months, and then Esme was born. So I had missed out on a huge part of my social life during that year, and that was literally only through my choices. Do you know what I mean? I was like, doing this for charity, so I'm just not going to come to these events. Maybe went to a few parties here and there, couple of 21st, took my car, was out of there within about an hour. Same with my granny's 60th, we had that, and I think it was the March, and I was there for about half an hour. Like half an hour at your own granny's 60th.
Do you think there was an element, but where, and this could relate to a lot of people because I know that now you're very, very comfortable with it, but see when you first stopped drinking, did you struggle to socialise at that point?
Aye. I don't think it was struggle to socialise. I think it was I just couldn't handle drunk people anymore. Because when I stopped drinking, within about 3 weeks, I literally just became so much more confident. I was so much happier in myself. Everything feels better, and that's what I say to anybody. I'm like, see, if you're drinking every weekend, to take 3 weeks off the drink, trust me, you will notice such a huge difference in yourself, your confidence, everything just skyrockets. Like, you just feel like dopamine is higher, like everything. You just feel so much healthier and happier, I think. And because I was so confident in that, I became so much more confident, but I was almost more social in occasions that didn't involve alcohol. But when it did, I just could not handle drunk people, mate. Like, it was as simple as that. It was like, you know yourself, mate, you go somewhere and people will be out for prees and stuff like that before it, man. So see, if you've got a party on a Saturday, mate, and it's at 7 o'clock.
I boys are out for 4.
Aye, mate, before that.
Minimum,
like, see if the Fitbit's on, people are out for like 12 o'clock. If there's a see what I mean? Say the Rangers are Celtic at a 12:30 kick-off, man, and say there's a party on a Saturday, mate. So I mean, you're boozing from like 9 o'clock. It's an away game, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to a party at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, man. I'm like, you think I want to be doing them people when I'm off a drink for a year? Like, not a chance. It's just people chewing your ear off.
literally, man. It's telling you the same story that you were a part of.
Mate,
I know. I was there.
But I think it's just dead hypocritical, but because like 2 months before I stopped drinking for a year, I was just doing the exact same. So I hated the person I was, drunk, sober. And that's...
I get it, and I wouldn't really say it's hypocritical, but I do get it. It's such because it kind of shows a wee light to what maybe you were like when you were drunk, if you will, when you're like, well, fucking hell, man. But I think, like, if you've went through a period of sobriety, then you do have an opinion on it. Do you know what I mean? And what would you say is, like, because there'll be people that will be listening to this and they'll be, like, literally sitting on the fence. They'll be going like, I might go sober for a bit. They'll be sitting on the fence with it, man. There'll be some people that are kind of going, like, doing it already, man. There'll be some people going, I'll never need to do that. And then it'll just click like that, no need to fucking do it. But what would be your opinion to someone who, or your advice to someone, who is going through a phase of sobriety or thinking about it?
Stick at it or do it. Like, there's no in between. You either go for it and go all in, like 100%, because the benefits reap. Like, it's as simple as that. You notice such a huge difference in yourself, and everybody around you notices a difference as well, which is, I think, is the best part about it. I think even people will say to you, even family members, close family, like my mum and grandma can always tell when I've been off a drink for a couple of weeks.
Can they?
Because I'm just nicer. It's so strange, mate. It's like,
I'm not as reactive.
Aye, my mum will ask me and she'll be like, well, what are you doing this weekend? And I know my mum's asked me what I'm doing this weekend because she knows I've been off a drink, so she's curious about what I'm doing if I'm still off a drink. But she never asks me. I'll either tell her or else she can already tell. Excuse me. But same with my grandma as well, man. Like, sometimes, like, if I had like weekends on a drink and then she was watching Esme like after my night shifts or whatever, and I'd pick her up on a Tuesday morning, I'd just be mute. Like, it's only like 5 minutes from my house to hers. It's not as if I was stubbing my grandma for like 10 minutes, right? But I'd just be like tired, mute, and everything else. Whereas when I've been off the drinks, you can you can feel the energy. I just radiate more happiness, more energy, and then as I say, mate, like, it's just I'm so much more confident as well. Which is just, I don't know if that's the same for everybody, to be honest, mate. But that's just what I feel for myself, as if I'm much more of a confident person and a lot more outgoing. When I've been off a drink, it's pretty much me drunk, if that makes sense. Just because when you're drunk, you know yourself, confident, speak to anybody. So see, when I've done a period of sobriety for 3 weeks, 5 weeks, however long it has been, that's how my brain works. I feel more confident, more outgoing. I can socialise with anybody, put me in a room with anybody, and then I can talk. Do you know what I mean? You know, like yourself, I can yap to anybody, man. It's gift of the gab, pretty much, man. But it's like, that's what I'd say to somebody, just do it, because you will reap the benefits. And so the best thing is your family as well. Everybody close to you, especially if you've got a young family, or you maybe had issues arguing with your mum and dad because you've been out in the booze every weekend and you come home wrecked at 4 in the morning or waking them up, whatever it may be. Do a few weeks, do at least 3 weeks, and you'll see the difference. And then heading forward, if you want to have that occasional beer batter on, I'm not going to stop you. If you want to go back to where you were batter on, but you would now know how you are as a person when you've done at least a small stint of sobriety.
I think as well, you're just creating a lot more awareness about who you are and where you're at.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, like, the one thing I always think about, right, was like when I first started to get an idea of like my cocaine addiction, right? And I remember always saying to myself, going, you're not addicted to it, right? And I'm not going to come on here and say like anyone's an alcoholic and that stuff, right? But it's like I started to notice, going like, fuck, I need this every weekend. Fuck, I need this every second day. Fuck, I'm taking this every day.
Aye.
And it's like there was no point where I kind of went, right, stop now. It was when I was like, you're going to die. You need to stop, right? And it's the same as well, man. See, when people will always have a drink every single weekend, right? And I get it. It's a part of British culture as well, man. Like, there's an element where it is socialising. Some of my best times have been, even recently, just a beer in my hand, watching the football. Not even drunk, just having a beer in my hand. So it's not even to that extent, right? But see if like you're going out every weekend getting absolutely blazing and that kind of stuff, like just absolutely fucking steaming, and you're like, I don't need to go sober. I'm like, don't need to go sober, mate, right? But you probably need to go for a period of sobriety. Because as you've touched on there, man, you are probably a shell of a man when you are midweek. Probably living for the weekend. Haven't been excited on a Tuesday probably since fucking primary school. And that's quite concerning. That's quite scary. You're not meant to wish your life away. You're meant to be excited 7 days a week. Obviously, life happens, right? But there should be an element of excitement going through midweek. And I think if you are constantly bevying and you've never had that period of sobriety, then that is the main reason why you have no excitement during the week, because you're always fucked or you're just looking for that next buzz. And then to kind of relate it back to, obviously, the point of the podcast around about like how you get stuff done with kids and stuff, right? I know how I am hungover, and I ain't got a kid. I struggle, like genuinely struggle, man. I'm like, Kieran, you need to just go a walk, mate. Just get walking, man. I cannot imagine what it would be like with a kid being severely hungover while still trying to sort your life out, because it just simply wouldn't happen, in my opinion. And if you're someone who has a kid and you're struggling to like make progress, like get training consistently, keep your nutrition on point, really dig into who you are, and then you're constantly hungover, like surely to God that will just throw you off. And like if someone came to us and said, I'm struggling with this and I've got no time and stuff, but I'm able to go to the boozer, that'd be like the first thing you would pull, wouldn't it? In my opinion. But I don't know what your opinion is on that, mate, because I know obviously over the years that you've stepped away from drinking most weekends and having a wee bit more time. And this is like a key element here. Since you've done that, like you're now working as a coach as well. Jordan's obviously a coach. Ran a marathon, mate. Your training's probably the best it's ever been. And you're probably more present in other ways, mate.
Yep.
All because you kind of took a step back from alcohol. Would you agree?
100%, mate. 100%. That's what I've noticed since being teetotal. It's like everything is so much better in terms of like just life. Like it's so broad. And that's what Christian always tells me, man. He's always like, you need to be more specific when talking and thinking about different aspects of life. But life as a whole has just been better. And as you said, so much more present. Like so much more present. It's the best thing to do. And it's trying to get shit done on a Saturday and Sunday after you've been out. And as you know yourself, mate, like my work doesn't start on a Monday, mate. My work can start on a Saturday night, Sunday night. So like my shifts start earlier than most people's, just the way my work week is. My work week's technically a Saturday to a Tuesday. I done a couple of Fridays, I done a couple of Saturdays off, right? Touch and go. But try to get shit done after I've been, say I'm out for a booze on a Friday night and I've got night shift on a Saturday. Trying to be present with Esme and Casey, get meal prepping done for 4 days, get my shopping done for 4 days, and actually get moving on that day doesn't happen.
It's
I was going to say it, but really it doesn't happen. You can't get all them five things done. When I walk into the kitchen, start cooking, I'm like, I feel fucked. Go and sit on the couch. It's not good enough. It's simply not good enough when you're trying to get that much stuff done before a long set of shifts. Because my shifts are 12 hours, there's no time. I'd say there's no time either side to get stuff done. There is, but say you're doing a batch of meal prepping, mate, it takes me roughly about an hour and a half, including dishes and stuff like that as well, obviously, right? I'm coming home at 7 o'clock and I want to be up for the gym at 5 o'clock the next day. I need to be in my bed for 9 o'clock. So I say I'm home for 7 o'clock, I finish at 7, don't go home till about 20 past 7:30. That's my hour and a half done right there, and that's not even giving me time to prep everything for the rest of the day, have a bit of reflection about what's actually went on the day, and sit down and chill with Casey. It's gave me zero time, and it's, as I say, it's like you can't get it done when you're working. You need to be prepared, like prepare to fail type of shit, man. It's the way it is, and that's what obviously being teetotal now with Esme is just it's the best thing.
Change
it
the
can
game,
happen
mate.
for her. Aye.
And the key here is it's the best thing for her.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And like, there will be parents listening to this, and it's like, in my opinion, like if you are struggling with time, if you are struggling to get shit done, and you're going out most weekends and having a drink, then you may as well just shoot yourself in the foot.
Aye.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like fucking call it a day. What's the fucking point?
Aye.
Obviously, like, you want to change that, right? But it's like it's just something that I see quite a lot, right? And if you want to have a beer, have a beer. Cool, you do you, right? But don't be the same person to moan that you've not got time to get shit done.
Aye.
Because you're literally eliminating half time that you've got. And then even when you do have time with the people you care about, you're probably not there. You're probably thinking about other things. You're probably a bit burst or whatever, right? And I know there'll be people listening to this, maybe going, if I want to have a beer, I'll have a beer, like cool, whatever, man, right? But it's like, what matters? What does actually matter to you?
Aye.
Like, sit and think and go like, what matters to you, man? Do you know what I mean? Probably your kid, your partner, and I would hope to think some form of progress in your life.
Aye.
Right now, where you're currently at, does alcohol help with that in any way, shape, or form? If the answer's no, eradicate it. And I know that seems pretty extreme, like it can to some people, right? But in my opinion, that's exactly what I would do.
100%.
And I've just got to kind of stand by that. But at the same token, it's like, I was going to say you can't have a beer, but like, cool, if you're wanting to really, really make progress, it's like if you want to be above average, right, you can't do what the average person does. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. And like, in the extra mile, we want to get people living 7 days a week. That is not average. That is above average. Okay, and that might sound bad, but people that are pushing for some serious targets, both in their career, in their lifestyle, in their training, big targets, right? And yeah, some of the guys in the extra mile have a beer, like of course, like a lot of the guys will drink and that kind of stuff on the odd occasion, which is cool, right? But if they've got a young child, I can put 90% of faith into all of them that they're not having a drink.
Yeah.
Because they're wanting to make that change, and alcohol just doesn't tie into that.
Yeah.
And I do strongly believe that if you eradicate alcohol for a while, especially if you've got a young child and you are still wanting to make progress with your physique, your performance, whatever, you will make the time to do it because you'll be switched on. And like, mate, you're living proof of that. As such, I know we'll go on and talk about his marathon that he butchered a wee bit. Right?
Fucking half, man.
I done the full one. No, I'm joking, man. But as I was saying, man, like I really, really do think there's something in that, and it's like people do the things they've always done when circumstances have changed, and they wonder why they've got this fucking rope tied around their waist holding them back. And it's like it's not so much that you need to change everything. You just need to have that wee reality check and go, is this serving me right now? And for most people that want to feel better, to operate better, to be better, alcohol's at the bottom of that list.
Aye.
And like, I'm speaking, like, obviously I've not got a kid, right? Sound? But I'm speaking from a fucking point of experience where alcohol had a grip of me, cocaine had a grip of me, every substance under the sun had a grip of me. And when I wanted to change, fucking alcohol was at the bottom of that list.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that you can never go back to it, right? Like, I'll still have a beer every now and then. But it's still not like, right, Saturday, let's go drink. It's not that case anymore. It's like, right, I need to make sure that I am winning in all areas. And if the time's right, I'll have a beer.
Aye.
Cool, so be it. But I think a lot of people get so caught up in, I've not got the time. I'm like, you're hungover probably about 20% in a month.
Aye.
Fix that and then talk to me about time.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not me saying that alcohol is the worst thing ever, right? And parents shouldn't drink. That's not the case at all. Like, my best pal Scott, he's a very, very good dad and is still able to have a beer for the football most weeks.
But I think it comes down to what your priority is, like
Yes.
what you want. The people who will be listening to this podcast will, not saying Scott doesn't want to do this, right? But they'll be training a lot.
Aye.
Like they'll be training maybe 5-6 hours a week and stuff like that, man. And like, if you are gonna have a beer, it will hold you back quite a lot.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And that's not obviously speaking for Scott and stuff like that, man. He'll probably still look after himself, stuff like that. But like, if you're instance, like if you're training for a marathon, right, and you've got a young kid, don't drink. Like,
Don't drink.
That's
Do not
like,
drink.
do you know what I mean, man? Like,
Speaking from experience, do not fucking drink, man.
Fucking hell, man.
You can fucking kiss goodbye to your targets, man. I'll tell you that for fuck all, man.
100%. But I think that's a good one to go into, man, because it's like, obviously you ran your first marathon last year in Edinburgh. And I believe everyone has to do this, not a marathon, but everyone needs to butcher a prep once in their life. Maybe twice, maybe 3 times, depending how much suffering you want to go through. But I think you really need to butcher something like that to like learn a lot about yourself. Because one, what are you made of on the day? Because that would have hurt from half marathon.
Yes,
onwards.
mate. Yes.
Would have hurt. Like, what
that
you
would
made
have
of.
hurt, yes.
Yeah,
When
do
did
you
it
know what
hurt? Yes.
Aye. How? But it's like, it would have hurt, so it shows you what you're made of, man, when you've got fuck all left, man. But also it teaches you the lessons of how to not let it happen again, but actually how to progress and be better. Would you agree?
Aye, 100%. There is really no room for error when you attack something like a marathon. And I think it's very different for different preps, different events. If you are fit enough in general to go and do a high rocks, you can do it in a 90-minute. You can do a 90-minute high rocks. Do you know what I mean? And I think I'd say most people who train 5 or 6 times a week could go and finish a high rocks. I don't mean a good time. I mean finish it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, finish in a good time. I'm not even speaking for experience. Never done one. So, but I think if you put your average Joe in the gym, so not just your average Joe, but your average Joe who trains 4 or 5 times a week, stick him in a high rocks. Doesn't matter running. He could go and finish it at least finish it. Time might be absolutely dog shit, but if you go and finish it,
done, but
aye, and that's what happens if you don't do the prep for a marathon. And that's exactly what I done. Spent too many Saturdays at the football instead of going to get my long runs done. What I could have done is shift them from a Saturday to a Sunday. But on Sunday it was rough. Simple as that. And that's what I would often do. I'd often drop Christian and Ailey a text and I'd be like, listen, I'm going to shift this from Saturday to Sunday. But no bother.
never get it done.
Fucking 9:30 a Saturday morning, going up to Dens Park, Tannadice, fucking wrecked already, 9-10 o'clock yet. Cargo's been bought the night before. I knew exactly what was going to happen that weekend when I was texting them to let them know. Now, I think the most I actually ran before my marathon was 28k, and it was about fucking 6 weeks before it.
Sorry, mate.
I think it was 28k.
Don't do that.
Nah, but I can't stress it enough. But don't not run 28k. Run further and further and further
man.
and more and harder. I think the most I had done was 28k, man, and I just missed so many long. But I hadn't done the increments correctly either. I had missed like a 24k. I had missed like a 16k. I had missed all these increments. I was maybe running once every 2-3 weeks. I don't mean running. I'm doing my long runs every 2-3 weeks. I was still doing my thresholds and everything else during the week, just because they were shorter than an hour. So I was able to squeeze them in somewhere when I could, even if that meant shifting things about. And obviously having Esme as well. Not that she was ever the issue. 100% was never the issue. If you're a parent, you can still do a marathon. Okay, that's not me saying that Esme was the issue, but
I think we're quite clear on what the issue is.
Yes.
And not just for you. Like, I need to make this very, very clear. You can actually really, really see the issue. And anyone that has watched a lot of our podcasts, right? there's a genuine consensus with a lot of the conversations where it's like there's alcohol, there's drugs. And that's normally what holds
people back.
a lot of people back. Think about that. Sorry, mate.
Central Belt in Scotland, isn't it, mate? You know what I mean? West of Scotland.
Britain as a whole.
in general.
Britain as a whole.
But, so I had done like 28k, man. And obviously, as we KDH and L's at the time, and just snubbing them all the time and stuff like that. Like, wasn't communicating what was going on in my life. Just paying for coaching that I wasn't taking advantage of. And this was from like March or February to May, maybe. So, drinking most weekends, in prep for a marathon, hardly doing my long runs. So I was training maybe 3 or 4 times a week if I was lucky. I was always doing my strength sessions because
you enjoy them.
It doesn't love a strength session in the gym.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
It doesn't love getting in and getting
easy to do the things you enjoy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't love getting in and getting a fucking quick pump and then getting home. Do you know what I mean?
Especially if you've got a fit body weekend.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like, honestly,
mate, exactly.
but that is true, man. Like, and like, so many people do underestimate, and I liked how you spoke about your increments, like the percentage is going up every single week inside a marathon prep, because it does. Like, anyone that's not done a marathon prep, right, you'll go through different phases. In every single phase, like some will be focusing on aerobic base, some will be focusing on your thresholds, some will be focusing on progressive runs, whether that be negative or tempo work, whatever, right? But there will always be an element of distance runs in there. And like, they might seem like, oh, they're just going up every week because, oh, they have to. Like, there's a reason behind that. If you try run, for talking sake, 16k, right, 1 week, then you miss 2 weeks, and then before you know it, you're up at 28k.
Aye.
You'll break. And it's not even that your legs will break, your mindset will be fucked, because you're like, how am I meant to do 42?
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously that's kind of what you went through. But what the good thing about it is that, I know I can't speak for you, mate, you done it.
Aye.
You still went and done it.
Yep.
Like, a lot of people would have just went, I'm not fucking doing that. And there's something in that. And would you say that there is, like, where does that come from with you, where it's like a, fuck you, watch this? Where does that mentality? Because I think it's really good. But again, I want to know where it comes from.
I think it's more growing up in like a small town in the west of Scotland, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I have like pure small town mentality, mate, but you're constantly either looking for validation or you're constantly looking to impress people instead of actually doing things for yourself. And I think that's something I was very, very a big culprit of when I was younger. Was always trying to impress people, like always hung about with kind of people older than me, and like started drinking really early because I thought it was cool. Started doing different things early just because I thought it was cool, and I've always been the kind of, like, always try to be the loudest one in the room when I've been on the drink and stuff like that, and just different things like that, man. So I think it's like pretty much built into me now, but I've managed to shift the kind of small town mentality, and now it's not validation I'm looking for anymore. The only people I want validation from is Casey, Esme, and my family. That's the only people I want to hear from. My pals as well, you know what I mean? But it's the only people I want to hear from.
At the core, that's what it means.
Aye, to let me know.
So it's the only constants
Aye.
that you've got in life.
Exactly.
I mean, as your family, man. So to have them validate you is cool, man. But I feel that, like, a lot of people, like, I was similar when I was younger, where I would, like, look for validation off of people, and, like, you would do things that you're like, ah, that's not even me and stuff like that. But I think it's like you do get to a point where you can flip it. And as you say, you can turn it into a positive. Like, because I do very much respect you. I'm like, fuck you, man. Look what I'm going to do here, man. Don't think I can do it? I can do it. And, like, it's funny, man, I had a conversation with Christian about this. Probably the most aggressive conversation we've ever had. And it was when I was in New Zealand. And he just messaged me. So I was, like, training for Run Scotland. And in New Zealand, in the South Island, we were in a camper van. And, like, it's basically like up north, but on steroids, mate, where there's no phone signal. There's towns are, like, 40, 50 miles apart. It's up and down mountains. It's not like Ben Nevis, mate. Like, Ben Nevis is a fucking warm-up over there. And I was like to Christian, I was like, mate, I can't get this camper van and run, like, because anything could happen to me, and I'm dead, mate. Like, with so many meters elevation, mate, like, there's snow everywhere. It's like it's bandit country, basically. And he's like, if you do not do this, you will not be able to run the length of Scotland. I think he knew what he was doing, because he fucking pissed me off. I was like, mate, fuck you, watch this. I ended up doing a 24-hour with a flying man, landed in London and ran a marathon as soon as I came off the plane. I was like, fuck you, mate. Like, you know, I was like, watch this, mate. Watch this, mate. Do you know what I mean?
You would have done it. I had recently followed you on Instagram when that happened, and I remember I seen you were like in the airport. You were like jaunting about London, and I was like, fucking fair play. Mate. But this was also during the time that I was in marathon prep as well, I think. No, I was doing my half marathon, I think. So when you were doing that, and then I think I was like, the kind of urge for me to kind of kick on with my half marathon as well, mate. That's what I said to you before. Like, I had followed you a long time when I started in the RFA before I had even actually started working with you and communicating with me. Like, I just followed you because we literally do like
same shit,
pretty much.
Different football teams, but
it's literally, mate, one's in a Macleod, one's in East Kilbride, one's Rangers, one's Celtic. No, I mean, it's literally it, mate, and it's just, it's
1's 6 foot, 1's 5 foot.
It's like polar opposites, but not in a sense, you know what I mean? Same upbringing,
I'm
just
5'4", by the way. Fucking,
that's a big claim.
And a half, mate, and a half, mate. Do you know what I mean?
But it's just about being, you want to prove people wrong, and in a sense, I think it's, as I say, it's always just been kind of ingrained into me, and now it's obviously like, it used to be when I was like 15, 16, 17, it was like pure small town mentality. I wanted everybody to think I was fucking cool as fuck and I was the best and everything like that. And then obviously just growing up, having a child, and it's like maturing, and you're thinking like it doesn't actually matter now. Like, the only people that do matter is people close to you. And but when it came down to the marathon, it was literally just like, it was at the start line, I was like, right, I'm here. I was like,
shit,
finish this. And just, because that's what the same again, Christian literally says, he was like, you might not finish this. I'm like, you probably won't finish this. And I'm like, and if you do finish it, I'm like, you will be fucked. So I was determined to finish it and be fucked, because I didn't want it to be first two. I didn't want to let him know, and that, that I didn't want him to be right, because I knew he was right. It was as simple as that. It was the hardest pill to swallow. Was that?
It's ego, mate.
Aye,
it's fine to have ego.
And we had a call, like when I was maybe like 2 weeks into my block, and it was like, right, we need to stop shifting things about, because he's seen what I was doing. Like, he's seen I was shifting my long runs from a Saturday to a Sunday, and I was just fucking rough every weekend. It was never ever going to work ever. And then I had a call, and I was like, I just remember I had notes, man. And I've got a notebook, mate, and it just like, there's notes for your call, mate, and beside it in big writing, just prove Christian how wrong. And it's like, just because we had a call and we were on a call, I was just getting more raging and raging.
But that's it as well, man. Like, there's something in it. I see this with some of our clients as well, man, because like, I'll say it how it is, to be honest, right? And you need to be like, honestly, mate, we are not a cheap coaching program. We're not, right, paying good money. You don't pay me to be your cheerleader. Don't get me wrong, I'll put an arm around you, build a great relationship with you, mate. You will become one of my best pals. I can guarantee that, right?
Exactly.
But at the same token, man, like, when you need to be told the harsh truth, you need to be told the harsh truth. And see as well, right, this is the best piece of advice I can give to someone. If you are getting held a mirror up to you by someone and you feel animosity, anger, or frustration towards them, it's got fuck all to do with them. And it's probably, most likely, got everything to do with you. So, like, look within yourself and actually go, right, why is he saying that or she saying that to me really annoying me? What's the truth in that? Like, what can I do to change it? And you'll get a lot of answers. Like, trust me, you will get a lot of answers. But people like to blame external factors. They like to. We all love to go, it's that, it's this, it's that. But in reality, it's probably some of your decisions. And whether you like it or not, you've always got a choice. Something that I've really started to push towards our guys is that, yeah, you will be dealt a hand of cards, whatever you want to say it. And you will feel a certain way. You might feel like a victim a wee bit, right? But your next move is your choice. Whether you feel constraints with it, and you might have constraints with that choice, but you have the final say on your next action. And the sooner you get to grips with that and you understand that and you accept that, the better it will be for you going forward, because you'll stop blaming external factors, even if there is external factors, because there is external factors at times. Like, of course there is, mate. Do you know what I mean? There always is going to be. But if you can look internally in from any situation, you're going to get out of the situation in a better light than just go, oh, it's this, it's that, it's that. That's my opinion on that, man. But would you do a marathon again?
Yes, I would. Definitely. Very, very
different. You're going to run 30k before.
I just want to make sure I'm at least done maybe 36.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But the plan is obviously to go ahead with the Edinburgh Marathon again. People say it's a shit marathon, but I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I was just 'cause it's my first one and I've not went and done...
Manchester's a good marathon.
I see
really good marathon.
Not went and done one of these kind of, I was going to say bigger ones, but Edinburgh's quite a big marathon, I'd say. But
it is. It's for Scotland, obviously.
Aye. A lot of people had a lot to say about it, and a lot of people moan about it, but I thought it was like a great day.
Depends if you just like being lonely, I suppose, isn't it, man? Like, not in that sense, because you end up away out in Portobello.
The coast, that's what people were moaning about though, was the coastal road and that, and I was like, I thought it was nice, but it was the only way back we get caught with the hailstones, so the way out there was unreal, like coastal road, man, views, nice, beautiful, like, right along the beach, man, beautiful. And obviously you get through that, we kind of muddy tavern area, and it's just rock, man, and that's when my legs just went. And this is like, honestly, probably about not even 3/4 of the way in, my legs were fucking
It's
gone.
weird as well, man. Like, just to say a bit like when your legs go, when you are running that distance and you are like, you're sending it, right? It's like curtains like that. It just comes over you. You don't feel it kicking in. It just hits. It's like, does anyone ever remember that movie, Run Fat Boy Run?
Aye.
Do you ever remember watching it, man?
Aye.
It's like, I don't know if you would have been too young for it, man. I can't remember when it came out. I think it was like 2006 or something. But it's like literally visually he stops and hits a wall when he's running in the marathon. And it's like, I was like, what the fuck, man? But it actually is like that, mate. You just hit and you go, whoa. And it's such a surreal experience, because I remember it in my first ever marathon. You still hit it every marathon you hit. Of course you do. You've got a stack of evidence that you can deal with it. So you just push through, man. And you start to learn going, I'm going to be a wee bit different when I come at the end of this, and that's exciting. But what you find is that the first time you hit that wall, man, everyone around you starts dropping. And you're just like, oh my God, and you're in this state of like, I don't want to say euphoria, man, but you're just in this state of just lost, confused, and going, what the fuck do I do, man? But it's quite a cool experience. I think everyone needs to go through it. I think everyone needs to do something that is really hard and does take them to that place.
I'd say make sure it's half. Don't do a marathon. A marathon's the worst thing you can do, because, as you say, a marathon in its own, you do hit a wall. Like, it happens, it's a marathon, mate. It's a fucking huge
Every single
distance,
person
man.
will do it. Every single person.
Exactly. And whether you are a mad athlete, like even the Pacers will hit a brick wall and they'll be like, oh, why the fuck did I sign up to do this?
Mate, we seen talking about Pacers, man. I can't remember what pace he was going up. I think it was like the half marathon to Great Scottish Run. And it was like a 1:30 pacer or something like that, man. Fuck that. Came in at like 1:50.
I see.
That's what I mean.
You know, it's usually affiliates of the like bastards and stuff like that in it.
I could do that, man.
To see if they've not trained enough, they'll be. As you say, they'll fuck it as well. It just goes to show you, mate. Like if you're not doing the training and you think you're going to go and be able to do something, I can guarantee you're probably not.
You're going to struggle.
It's harsh pill to swallow for a lot of people, mate, and it was for me as well. And I'm very, very reluctant that I did manage to finish it and done it in just over 4 hours. The original target was sub 4. If I trained, I'd have smoked that, and that's what I'm solidly convinced. Me and you literally just obviously spoke about it as well. But if I had the endurance to hold the pace I was holding for the first 20k, 21k, probably half. Like if I held that pace, I'd have smoked the sub 4. But didn't, because I didn't do the long runs, and it shows when it got to 28k. Funnily enough, after that, I was gubbed. Simple as that. And it's not a mental equation. Do you know what I mean? Don't do the work, you're not going to get a result.
100%, man. And it's funny that, but because it kind of comes down to, again, talking about that stack of evidence. Like if you do not have any proof you can run further than 28k, probably not going to get beyond the 30k mark. You'll slug at 2k, but you'll probably start to really struggle, man. And I think as well, man, like that kind of brings on to like one of my next questions. I want to kind of get your wee thoughts on like what you've actually learned since being inside of the extra mile. And I think like even that you'll probably relate to a few of the guys who have done prep since you've been here, and like they kind of have not half-assed it but butchered it and then got through it. Because I can't express this enough, everyone will do it. Everyone has to do it. Like see, and I'm not saying if you've not done it, like, oh, for that's coming, but it probably will, man. Like I look at some of our most successful clients. They've been with us for 4 or 5 years. Like, could you imagine Downey butchering a prep?
See, that's what I was doing. I wanted to start name dropping, but if that's what I mean. You look at Downey and Lauren.
He's done that away at the start.
Exactly.
But he would never do it now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you do need to go for it. You really do need to go for it. And Jordan, if you're listening to this, mate, you're a legend, mate. I know you don't do that anymore, mate.
Legend,
he ran 96 kilometres, man, so he's good. But what has been like your biggest lessons, learning curves and everything? Because obviously you're quite a young coach, mate. But obviously coming into the programme, and obviously we've been able to help you grow and stuff like that, man. But what have you taken away from coaching specifically for guys and females pushing their performance and wanting to live 7 days a week?
It's more that I'm able to resonate with a lot more people than I thought. And I know a lot of people think that when you're a coach because your life's hunky-dory and nothing ever goes wrong. Your training's 100% perfect every week. Your nutrition's 100% perfect every week. You don't have slip-ups. It's not how an online coach is. No. Although your fucking favourite influencer online that does their 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. wake-up routine, they don't do that every day. I can guarantee they don't do that every day. even if they've got kids as well. That's the
Exactly.
biggest point. If they've got kids,
Lauren Brown will argue that, by the way. She will.
She is. She's a grafter, though. She's different.
Lauren, I know you're up at half Lauren.
She's a different breed. She's a different breed of woman, man. Different breed of woman. But like that's what I mean. Conscious of the popular belief, like not everybody's life is perfect, man, and it's been really, really interesting to actually come in and work with guys who are pushing bigger targets than I've done. Do you know what I mean? Like Downey and Lauren have just went and run
Glasgow,
Edinburgh. There's a lot of people who are pushing serious high rocks times. There's a lot of guys who are pushing for high rocks. There's a lot of guys who... Andrew wants to run a line for Scotland. I've not done any prep like that before myself. Luckily enough, I've got you there to...
Said that to us, I was like, I've got just the route. I know what to do.
Got a camper van as well, if you like to buy it off me.
Got a few of the guys cycling the line for Britain as well.
Yes.
Which is cool. Ironmans and everything. Project Ireland as well,
Project Ireland
mate.
as well, mate. Aye, we've got like some serious stuff, and it's... You come in, man, and it's just sometimes it feels good to be able to resonate with people who you never thought you'd be able to, and when I first met the guys and stuff like that, it's sort of like, it's the same way when you meet any group of people, man. You kind of feel out of place and stuff like that, and I feel as if everything's just kind of slotted right in, man. And I've been able to literally have conversations with people. You see it yourself, a lot of the guys who are parents as well. I've actually been able to relate to them a lot, and
they've made good progress, cause
and
really
often help them out and kind of guide them in a sense of, right, if they get up at this time, sorry to tell you, but you're going to get up at this time. You can't get up when they go up. It doesn't work, and that's what I say to everybody who's got a kid. I'm like, see, if you're waking up see if your baby is your alarm, your day's in for a fucking, like, your day's going to be chaotic, man. You've got to be prepared for them to wake up, man, and that's why a lot of things I've, as I say, has been able to kind of get in contact with the guys and be like, listen, this is going to help you a bit better if you maybe start doing this or start prioritising this or different things like that. Just obviously I've got a lot of parents inside the programme, and as I say, there's a lot of the preps as well, man. Like, I've seen it, and I've seen people maybe fuck up the first few weeks of their prep, and I've had to drop that marathon story, and sometimes it has given them a bit of the arse, sometimes it's maybe not, but it's a really good story to tell people. And as you say, mate, like, I think everybody needs to go through that before they do their first event or an event in general, and make that mistake of not showing up, because you do learn so much from it. I think it's a better lesson than it is to not do it, if that makes sense.
It's a better lesson to make the fuck up than what it actually is to get the result first time, if that makes sense.
That doesn't mean going fuck
up, right? But like, one of the truest sayings ever is failure's only an option if you allow it to become an option. Do you know what I mean? People come to me and go like, I failed. I'm like, how about you going to stop? They're like, no. And I'm like, well, you've no fucking failed. You've just a lesson. And that's where people go wrong. And like, there's a few of our guys that I've like really sat down and spoke to. I guarantee some of them are listening to it and go, I know this is talking about me, man. And like, they don't get something they want. They go, fuck, like, it's not happening. I fucking failed. And I'm like, well, what are you doing in the morning? I'm going back to training. I'm like, well, fucking cool, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Let's go, man. Do you know what I mean? You've just learned that lesson. It's like, fuck, mate. Like, I'm still pushing for sub 60 high rocks. Like, still pushing, mate. Like, a few years now, mate. And I'm like, cool, I'll get there. Fucking missed it by 9 seconds.
Exactly.
But I'll get there, man. Do you know what I mean? You just keep on fucking going, man. And I like that as well, because what we've noticed is it's a massive relatability, especially with the parents inside of the programme. And it's one of the ones as well, like, you have been and you will continue to be living proof that stuff can be done. It's just the main thing to even summarise this podcast, man, is like, it's priorities, man.
Yeah.
You need to have your priorities in place, and that's the way I kind of look at it. And like, even if you're not a parent, you still need to have your priorities in place. Because as I say, when I was drinking, sniffing, doing whatever, like, fucking everything else is a bit of shit. Never mind having a human to look after.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then if you're doing that and you've got a human, and you're saying you've not got any time, like, come on. Like, that's the harsh reality, man. The one before we round it off, man, I wanted to ask you that question because you put a post into the group and you mentioned her name and all that kind of stuff, man. Mine when Molly May said, fucking, we've all got the same 24 hours in a day.
Man, absolute like, legend.
So, when she said that, I was like, bear in mind, I've not got a kid. I'm like, she's got a fucking point. But then I thought about it, I'm like, nah, she doesn't, right? But she does to a 10 degree, because we do have 24 hours in a day, but obviously it is different for every person, right? So I don't actually agree with her, but I do get what she means with it. It's what you do with your time, right? But I know Jordan will have a different opinion.
It's in a sense, mate, it's like, it's correct, but it's not correct. As you say, mate, it literally is. It comes down to priorities and
man.
what you prioritise in your 24 hours.
Your 24 hours, man.
All got the same. But when you have a whole human who your life literally revolves around, man, there's no other way about it. If you are a present parent and you believe you are the best parent that you can be, then you'll agree with everything I've got to say here. And that is that no 24 hours is ever the same for everybody. Not at all. There's been times where I've had a full day planned out and Esme's been sick. So I've got to stay in the house all day, look after her. Not a complaint, right? But everything I had planned in that day is just went to shit because... I'm going to say because Esme, but it's because
she waited.
Because she's sick, fucked it. But no day is ever the same, especially with a child, man. It's chaotic, it's mental, but I love it. And I just remember when she came out with that comment, man. She has a child, right? She has all the money in the fucking world to get every babysitter she needs and go and do all these, Casey was watching one of her vlogs the other day, man, and she got a PJ over to France to watch Tommy run a race and then flew back over the next day. And I'm like, everybody's getting the same 24 hours around the day. You get a PJ over? Fuck off, man.
It's no hard, man.
It's just... I get what she meant when she says it, but the
context is key.
The context is different.
Key,
her 24 hours is 1,000,000% different from everybody else's 24 hours, and it literally comes down to the money she's got to be able to do what she does. Do you know what I mean? It's not like she'll have Bambi in like the best nursery ever, the best school ever and stuff like that. Not everybody gets to fucking do that, mate. Do you know what I mean? Some people need to wait until their baby is old enough
to go into school.
To get into school and get into nursery. Some people can't afford that early nursery, so they've got to keep the child at home. They can't go and do their Pretty Little Thing photo shoots because they've got to look after their baby, man.
Asking you that, man. You can be your C's out. Do you know what I mean, man?
It's like I'm almost on the fence with it because I get what she's saying in a sense, because I do agree. I do agree everybody has the same 24 hours. It's what you do with it. But you can't do this thing if you have a child. And this whole podcast has been about how you can do things when you have a child, right? But it doesn't mean what you can do with a child, you can do the same as someone who doesn't. For example, I can't go and train at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. Do you think my session would be 10 times better if I could go and do that?
100%.
Probably, right? I've got to go up and train before Esme's even awake. I'm not complaining. I don't mind. I enjoy it. Getting to the gym nice and early. I'm out at 7 o'clock, feeling brilliant. Some people are just snoozing their first alarms at that time. I feel class. Would I like to train at 11 o'clock when I've had a good breakfast and a good brunch and go and smash a session? Yes, but I can't. And it just goes to show not everybody does have the same 24 hours in a day.
Don't have the same 24 hours in a day, man, but a quote that I really like, and it's something that will always stick with me, man. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier on, but it's like Nick Bear. It's like if something matters that much to you, man, you won't find the time, you'll make the time.
Aye.
And like that's what you're doing, and that's what most parents will do. But they'll have different priorities, different things in place that's kind of holding them back. So we'll finish it on that one where it's like, yes, 24 hours are different. Yes, it's hard. The stuff comes up. But again, if it matters that much to you, make the time for it. And if you're not making the time for it, question yourself about it. But if you're sitting in a position where you're not quite happy with where you're at, how you look or how you feel, maybe it's time to change the priorities and make time for it, man.
100%.
I mean, but definitely, man. But guys, I think we'll wrap that podcast up there. That was a class conversation. I hope a lot of parents that are listening to it have took a lot away from it and gained a wee bit more belief and hope that, yeah, they can still make progress. They can still live the life they want to live. They can still have a happy life. They can still be in control. They just need to get their priorities on point, be adaptable, and make the time for the shit that matters, in our opinion, man. But guys, if you have been tuning in and you've enjoyed the podcast, please share it to your stories. Tag us on Instagram. If you're watching it on YouTube, again, like and subscribe and make some noise about us if you can, please, because we're going to be getting on guests every single week, sharing insights like Jordan Moore here, different people from different walks of life, showing them how they are building their dream life by putting in the miles. And we will catch you on the next one.